Hello, everyone. This is Dr.Vineet Kumar Purohit, Mahaveer Institute of Technology and Science, serving in the Department of English. We are going to know something about the nature today, the harmony in nature. How can we be in harmony in nature? In the previous lectures, I have informed you, we have shared something regarding the harmony in individual, harmony in family, harmony in society. So now we are going to come to know about the harmony in nature. Nature, the very familiar word with us. In the next slide, I hope we can see how many levels we have already gone through. In the next slide, yes, there is a list. 4 levels are there. So today we are reading the last 4th level, that is nature and existence. So what is nature? Nature is, that is explained in the next slide. Nature, whatever we see around us, ourself, we individuals, we in the family, we in the society, we all exist, we all remain in nature. Everything like the breathing, the air, water, plants, all the objects that we can see, we cannot see are in nature. We are very much familiar about the nature. So what is this like? Nature is providing us and we are using we are rendering like all the sources of nature. This is the nature. What is like to be in harmony? This is what like we are supposed to understand. So let's check out the another slide. Undoubtedly, we shall be having something more about the nature, the collection of the units. And this is what like I have been stating right from the beginning, that whatever we see around us, that all is considered at the units. We do also know that these are the things, these are the objects, but it can be considered as the unit. Everything like a pen, an animal, a chalk, uh, I, self, you, everything, the phone, car, everything is basically an object. And the units are of two types, material and conscious. Material, in which like we can see there is no life, but in conscious we can see there is life, there is growth, there is respiration. So unit equals to activity in the form of the individual unit. There are 4 orders to get the closure look about these units. We shall have to understand the 4 orders, and in the 4 orders we have described all the units, all these units that we can see and we cannot see. So let's take up the first actually order, that is the physical order. We can call it as material order also, that is known as, and that is seen in the oval. What is that? All kinds of the stones, air, gases, water, soil, everything is going to come. Even the metals also, iron, brass, silver, gold, all are going to be here. Okay, so all the things like the stone, metals, water, air, gases are going to come in that oval, and that is known as the physical order. That is also known as the material order. The next is pranic order. Pranic is what in which we can include all the of plants, whether it is a banyan tree, every kind, or even yes, we can include the fungi also. So every kind of the plants that can also be included in this particular second order. We are moving towards the third order, that is the animal order. Here insects, bacteria, and we can say wild animals, we can say domestic animals also, and yes, the fungi, I would say, that we included in plants, we'll be including the fungi also over here. So all the kinds of the insects and the wild animals, everything, chordates, non-chordates, are going to come in this uh, third order. Next is about the human order. In human order, we are going to include ourselves. We are going to include ourselves. So if we check out that what is the role of the every order that they are performing mutually. How the orders or the units, basically in particular order, are going to be useful or beneficial, are going to be, mutually fulfilled. How? That can be seen in the next slide. Here we have come to know that four major orders are over there. Yeah, that's very good. We can see the mutual fulfillment is equal to the relatedness and the fulfillment. How? We need to understand it, very carefully. So we'll be taking up undoubtedly with the order number one, and that is the physical order or the material order. That how the material order are going to be useful for the pranic order. Yes, it is very useful. Without air, without water, and without soil, the plants actually cannot survive. So physical order, that is actually supporting to the pranic order. Now let's check out if the pranic order are also going to be helpful for the physical order or not. Yes, pranic order in which we have the roots. The roots are going to bind the soil properly, and it is going to save us from the earthquake, from the other natural calamity like landslides, and because like it actually if the plants are there, and that is why uh, we are being informed again and again. We are being informed. We'll be staying on the previous slide only first. Yes. So we are actually informed again and again that the we are supposed to plant the plants to save the mother earth. Okay. So the plants are also going to help the material order. Okay, to have the rains also in that way. So like they both are actually mutually fulfilling each other. Now let's check out the third order, that is of the animal order. So what the animals are actually going to take from the first two orders, and is it going to give back? Yes, animals are taking the food, air, and water from the first two orders, number one and number two, and in return animal orders are going to maintain like a kind of the nourishment to the nature, to the land, to the earth, because of like the excretes. And when they sit somewhere, they carry the seeds of the plants to some other places wherever they go. And when they sit again some other place, they plant the seeds, and in this way they are helping. Now the fourth, we are moving towards the fourth order, and that is the human order. What the human order is going to be like, in which sense it is going to be mutually fulfilled. Human orders are taking, the are rendering all the first three orders: air, water, stone, sand, plants, and animals also, for transportation or in any way actually. But what are we giving back? Are we really giving back? No, we are actually damaging the first order by our experiments. We are cutting the trees, and we are misusing the animals also. And I need not to explain, because like in the lockdown period, we are actually preparing the lectures because of the coronavirus. And we are very well informed that why the coronavirus actually came into the existence. So undoubtedly, we can see, you know, the bold red question marks. Okay, these question marks are actually not present in the first three orders, but these are actually present with the human order. What human beings are going to give back. So here, actually, we are not feeling the feeling of relatedness. We are actually not mutually fulfilling. Okay, so this is actually the diagram is going to tell us, and this is like very important. Next slide, please. Yes. Uh, Here, like what our ability is. It is written that in the end, that inconvenient truth. It's a movie basically by the Vice President of America who made it, and he actually Al Gore. Yes, his name is Al Gore. He has made this video, and that is very important. That is telling us that what we are doing nowadays with our mother nature, the human beings, we are taking everything, but we are really not giving back. Though we are actually creating such things which are really not, recyclable, like plastic. And that is why, you know because of our actions of today, global warming and global cooling, earthquakes are really, the burning problems of nature right now. Next slide, please. Here, uh, this is what, like I have already explained, that we are, you know, creating these two problems: the depletion, like the use of the natural resources, and we are actually making it worse also, and that is why it is becoming the pollution. Okay, like this is what the human beings are doing. Next, please. Pollution and the depletion, actually this is what we are doing. So when we give a closer look to these four orders, these four orders, like the material order, the physical order, pranic, animal, and the human, we are going to know the units about their activities and their conformance and the innateness one by one. So, like, see, in the units, when we talk about what kind of the units are present in physical order, it is about the gas and the stones and all that. So, what is the activity over there? It is about the composition and decomposition. Okay, they are built, they are destroyed, and that's rebuilt. Like what we see, undoubtedly, there is actually composition and decomposition in trees, but we see the respiration is also over there, and that is why we get O2 and they get CO2. In animal, we see all the kinds of the animals are the objects over here. They have the body, so it is like decomposition, composition is already present, respiration is also present, but we see one more thing, that is selecting and tasting. This is another activity. Okay, so as like the moment actually we are moving towards the every order, we can check out the activities are also being increased. Now the fourth, that is the fourth, human order. So what kinds of the units are there? It is the human beings. And what kinds of the activities are over there? Undoubtedly, it is composition, decomposition, respiration. Okay, and selecting and tasting. But apart from that, we are having analyzing, we are having imagination, we are having actually the desire and thought. This is what we have already gone through. Okay, so these kinds of the activities are already present in the human beings. Next, we are going to read in this particular sequence, and that is the innateness. Innateness, like the actual nature of a particular unit. So when we talk about physical units, materialistic units, it is in the existence. We can see, we can feel the air, the water, the stone, metals. These are having their existence. When we check out the second order, that is of the pranic, there is the growth. We plant a sapling, and that actually comes out in the form of a huge tree. Animals, what we see, they have the will to live. That is the innateness. Like anyhow, they will either kill the others, or the others are going to kill. So what is actually this? This is basically the will to live. And yes, in the fourth order, what we check out, that the will is over there, but we want to live with the continuous happiness. Next, please. We want to live. Human being actually want to live with the continuous happiness. Not only happiness, the continuous happiness. Uh, Next is basically mm, inheritance. Inheritance, like that is known as the conformance also. What is the conformance? Like, there is a word in Hindi, that is anusangita. Like what I am and what I am actually going to give, my generation to the nature, the existence. So what actually the the physical orders, the units actually are going to give as the inheritance, like the piece of the iron will be having all the atoms and molecules of the iron only. So we can say like that is in existence, that is actually full of composition and decomposition, and the iron will give the birth to iron only. Similarly, the plants like the mango tree will be having the full of mangoness, so it is going to give the birth to the mango only. And animals like the child of the deer, okay, the fawn, will be again a deer. the fawn, actually, we say that is going to be a deer, and the child of the man is going to be a human being. Human being will be giving, their inheritance in the form of the human beings. But we are having some, the basic qualities also. So this is what actually we need to know. That is actually, in the next slide probably. What are our basic activities? The basic activities, like, uh, the physical units are, full of decomposition and composition. uh, the plants are actually having, nurture and worsen. That is the basic activity, that some of the plants are nurturing us, and some of can, kill us. No, the previous slide, sorry, the previous slide only. Yes. uh, Animals are going to be cruel and non-cruel. Like some of them are like the cows, and some of them are like going to be wild. These are the basic, their swabhava. What and the human beings are going to do? The human beings are, full of perseverance, bravery, and generosity, dhirta, virta, and udarta. And this is what, like, these people are supposed to do. Undoubtedly, the plants are actually in harmony. They are full of nurturing and worsening qualities. Animals are also like cruel and non-cruel. But human beings, are we having like that dhirta, virta, and udarta, perseverance, generosity, and bravery? No, we are really not having. So we need to actually, update ourselves. We need to know, through the self-exploration we can come to this conclusion. We can use that, and undoubtedly, when we are going to use that, we shall be using the education in the form of the sanskara, and in this way we can be a proper human being. Next slide, please. We can be a proper human being. Yeah. Here we can see the physical order that takes to the sorry, the human order, the animal order, the plant order, and physical order. uh, we can say, like, if we are moving towards the physical facility only, then we are only animals. But if we are moving towards the relationship, the right understanding, we shall be, enriched with the human consciousness. So this is what actually we have to do. We need to know how the nature can be protected, and how we can be in harmony. Next slide, please. We have to be in harmony. Human consciousness and animal consciousness. This is what, like, I have already explained. Can we have the next slide, please? This is the sum up. When we are using the nature, like all the three orders, if the human being is going to use, he can be in harmony, he can be harmonize himself. Okay. So, like, this is the sum up, that we have understood how can we be in harmony in the nature. The next slide, probably the next PPT, is going to tell us that all these four units, sorry, four orders, all these four orders are undoubtedly going to be with something. What is that something? That is the existence, basically. Like our existence with the existence of other. What is that? We are going to read that. Next slide, please. Next, please. Yes, we are on the fourth level. Yeah, see, this slide is telling us that our existence, like, something is supposed to be there, that can be felt, that can be seen, that can be touched. Okay. So existence, like, it is actually taking the words in part. Existence, like, in, to be in harmony. Exist, to be. And essence, like, that is basically whatever exists, that is supposed to be in harmony. We need to be in harmony. Next slide, please. uh, Whatever we see that is actually existing with something, what is that? That is basically the coexistence, which is really letting each and every activity to be happened in this, on this earth. So something is there, there's some power which is really letting us, which is letting each and every activity to take place. And that is basically the coexistence. What is coexistence? Let's check out in the next slide. Here we are going to know That is basically the space around and inside us. That is like in every tissue, every cell, every molecule, every atom that is there. So existence will be having two things. There is the existence of actually two things. One is the units. This is what we have gone through, and another is the space. Space like that is present everywhere. Okay, and we are all the units basically are in the space. Okay, that is why we call it the coexistence. Next slide. Yes, we can see that like in the existence, two things are there: units and space. The units basically are limited in size, but the space, which is like all pervading, that is found everywhere, that is unlimited. There is the activity in every unit, and that is why like it can be decomposed, it can be composed. There is the growth. Okay, this is what like we have already gone through in the basic activity and activity, okay, the previous slides. But can we see the activity in the space? No, there is no activity, but it has something which is really letting to, letting the every activity to be performed. It has the energy, like the units has, every unit has the energy, but the energy of the space is constant. Okay, it is self organized. Okay, it is the units basically are the self organized, whereas the space actually allows the permission for the self organization. Okay, uh, here in the units actually the activity of the recognizing and fulfilling takes place, whereas the space is basically transparent. And that is why like all the kinds of the activities that can take place easily in this space. So these are actually the five, you know the points which are supposed to be kept in mind separately about the units and the space. Okay, that the units are limited, are active, are energized, are self-organized, and recognizing and fulfilling. Whereas the space is like, all pervading, unlimited, no activity, energy is constant. It allows the actual self-organization, and it is transparent. Okay, these are the points that we have to keep in mind, and it's very important. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is actually the sum up. Now I am actually going to tell you that we all are actually in the coexistence, and we are in this space. And see, the important thing is that I'm going to show you an image over here, that is actually, the scanned by me to give you the closure and very, easy to understand way. That image is actually going to tell us that how the things are already in the nature. Like, see, there are actually some parts like the Jada and the Chaitanya. In this way, we can understand. I hope the things are actually not clear, but when you like try to zoom it, the things can be very much clear. The Jada is basically like that the material order, and the Chaitanya is about the self. We are going to include that the pranic order, okay, and the animal order also over here. That is the second part. And the third part is like the consciousness, the self, where the activities of the knowing, assuming, recognizing, and fulfill will take place easily. But what we are doing in the three parts, the part one is actually talking about physical facilities. Okay, nature in ample amount. But the current notion is what the human beings are thinking, that we can be prosperous when we have the ample actually, amount of the physical facilities. That is wrong perception. That is there, and we can use it whenever we require. Okay. Second one is about the growth of the animals and of the plants. But we are thinking that animals and the plants are actually a hindrance for us, and that is why we are cutting them, we are killing them. Okay, this is actually the notion of the present time. The third one is like we are totally ignoring it. of knowing, assuming, and recognizing, fulfilling. That is the very wrong concept. Then what the solution is? The solution is like, we are not supposed to be, that particular person to be prosperous by accumulating. No. Whatever we have, we need to share it and we can be prosperous. We need to stop cutting the trees and killing the animals. That is a growth and let it be. And the third one, we are supposed to focus towards the education and sanskara. Like try to understand and doing the work, performing the work from knowing, assuming, recognizing, and fulfilling. That is basically the solution. Otherwise, if we are, making it cycling, see, the part one is about the jada of jada. That is like, material order. That is cyclic. Plants and animals are cyclic, but knowledge is not supposed to be cyclic. Once you have understood and try to observe, try to explore, use your natural acceptance and develop your right understanding. So here the right understanding is actually going to give us the solution. And if we start doing the work from the knowing, assuming, recognizing, hopefully all the things will be easily handled. So thank you really very much. It was about the harmony in nature. Thank you.